Things like this have got to stop. An insane report has been revealed earlier today about the Boston Bruins captain Brad Marchand and assistant captain David Pastrnak that the two are feuding in the locker room. Both players have spoken out about this, and I'm giving you the latest update on what we have regarding that whole situation. We also have an update for injury for Kastelic at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around as well and find out what the status of him is going forward for this team. But right now, we need to get into this. Before we do, though, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join me here on the channel. We're covering everything Boston Bruins news. And remember, every video I'm giving you an update now. I'm waiting for the firing of Don Sweeney, and I will be the first to report it for you guys here. So make sure to stick around if you want to see that. But without any further ado, let's get into this insane report, because this is just getting ridiculous, and it has already gotten to an extreme level, to a point where it shouldn't have even gotten at this. A fake report has come out earlier, or reportedly a fake report from WEEI, I believe is the radio station, whatever it may be, that there is ongoing beef between David Pastrnak and Brad Marchand in the locker room. Now, both players have spoken about this. This has been numerously refuted by both players, the team at this instance of where we are right now. But I will pull up what we have coming from this originally from WEEI, from Jones and Keefe podcast. As the locker room is a disaster, and David Pastrnak is at the center of that. David Pastrnak has told the team that he doesn't want to be on a line with Brad Marchand, and it may stem from Brad Marchand calling out Pastrnak for some of his play. Yikes. Now, immediately when I had seen this, something ticked my mind that this was really weird. We see those two guys in the light at all times, spotlight of best friends. You never see any downplay of their friendship at all, whether that's in a game, whether that's from the Bruins Twitter account, whether that's from someone recording them from the stands, on the bench, or whatever it may be. We always see these two joking, laughing, and really helping each other out at any instant. So right away, something like my mind really ticked, and it didn't seem interesting. It didn't seem really legit. And this is what Brad Marchand had to say about that. I do have the quote, what he had to say here. Not the full thing, but it is on the Bruins Twitter, and I do recommend going to look at it. And here's what Brad Marchand had to say about that right away after today's Bruins skate.
I've heard, what was said in the media this morning. It's unfortunate. I know reporters have a job to do, and that job is to report on the team, and usually you try to be fact-based. But when there's just blatant lies told in the media, that's where there's a problem. And the fact that this guy has a platform and he's just making stuff up is embarrassing. And there's zero truth to anything that he said on the radio. This is how you lose a job very quickly. The fact that he's going to have a job after this is insane, because Pass and I are best friends. We've had an incredibly close relationship for a long time. The only reason we don't play together is so that we can spread depth throughout the lineup. There's zero truth to him being a problem in the room. He's one of the most loved guys in the room.
As you see, Brad Marchand did not mince words on this reporter, and rightfully so. When you're calling somebody out for not your play on the ice necessarily, but your friendship between one of the guys you've been playing with forever, and saying something that is not true like that, that really can spread like wildfire in the community of sports, especially on a team like the Boston Bruins right now, where they are struggling. The team has been struggling. The players are not at their happiest per se, just because the team is struggling. But of course, we always see this team stick up for each other. We saw that at the end of the most recent practice before a game against Tampa. Team hug at the end, hopefully trying to get something going. And this team's always sticking up for each other. And Brad Marchand completely ripped apart that reporter, but rightfully so. And as I mentioned, go check out the full quote, I guess it is, from the Boston Bruins Twitter account, just to go see what he said. It's about 3-4 minutes. I didn't want to pull the full thing up here in this video, but Brad Marchand refuting that right away. And that also goes with David Pastrnak. This is what David Pastrnak had to say on the topic. He says, "I've never in my life said I don't want to play with the guy to coaching the staff or the management, and I never would. I love playing with Marshy. I've been playing with him for so long." And Pastrnak even seemed disgruntled when he was saying this, this really affected these players, you can tell, but they were joking on the ice, laughing about it, which is a good thing, and hopefully this brings this team closer together. Hopefully, especially these two, it brings them closer together, even closer than they already were, but it is just an insane report, and there even is another tweet from this account, Rich Keefe, the guy who said this, that now I get Marchand calling for my job. No one acts this way if a story is really false. Thanks for the confirmation. This is just absolute BS. That's a horrible way to go about this. And of course, Marchand's going to call for your job. That's just absolutely ridiculous that you're calling out a guy and his friend for doing stuff that they're not, calling them out for saying that they don't want to play for each other. When you're in a professional scenario like the NHL, when you're in the spotlight, you're going to have people that just look at the first thing they see and go with it. And of course, that's not at all what you should do in this scenario. And of course, Brad Marchand had the exact right response to this. And Rich Keefe, this is just an absolutely, childish response. Let's be honest with you there. And let me know what you guys think about this report. Obviously, seeming like it's all false, and I'm fully on the side of this completely false. We've seen these two players, Marchand and Pastrnak, come out, speak about it, say that this is completely false, and that it is just an absolutely ridiculous report. And let me know what you think about it. Obviously, we're going to probably see more about this, and hope we don't, however. Hope this is the end of it. Hope that these two can just go along with it, and of course, they know their side of the story. So whatever it is at this point, but it certainly seems like these two players know what they're talking about and completely agree that this is false. But we got to head on to our second topic here of the video, which is a Mark Kastelic injury update. Now, a lot of you guys probably didn't see this injury, or you probably didn't see this at the end of the game against Tampa, I believe with like 5 seconds left. We went and seen Mark Kastelic get in a fight with one of the Tampa defensemen. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. When he went to go at the defenseman, stick came up, hit Kastelic in the face. The fight then occurred, and Kastelic did not look right heading to the bench. Was stumbling a bit, seemed almost a bit, not really knowing where he is, and that was a bit concerning. We see a lot of people on Twitter come out right after that fight and say, this is not a good look for Mark Kastelic, and then we end up seeing him not at practice today. We do have, however, an update on this, and as you see, not in the lines there on that fourth line, Beecher, Koepke, and McLaughlin on that fourth line with no 13th skater. That meaning Mark Kastelic was not skating, and this is what Joe Sacco had to say about the injury. He said, he didn't practice today, we're taking it day by day with him right now and see how it feels. Got caught up in that incident last night and was whacked in the head on the ice. We're just taking it day by day and see how he feels. So, my guess, if it were anything, would be a concussion. Hopefully, it is not a concussion, and if it is, I hope it's very minor. Mark Kastelic has been an incredible player for this team this season, and especially as of late, he's really brought the energy, has really brought every bit of, momentum to this team that he has been able to, and that's going to be a serious loss if he is out any time. And as you've seen Joe Sacco there say, the head off the ice is definitely something that you don't want to see, and having him kind of stumbling heading to the bench and down to the tunnel, that was something to see, be very concerned about when it happened. But the fact that Joe Sacco saying it's day by day, we're taking it day by day, and even though he didn't skate today, it is a better update than we had hoped for, I guess we could say. I didn't really want to see him say, yes, concussion right away, but the fact that it is day to day, taking it day by day, gives me a bit of hope that it may not be a concussion, maybe just a little, a little under the weather at this point, I guess we could say. But Mark Kastelic, hopefully he's back soon. Hopefully he's healthy, which is the main thing, and we want to see him back as soon as possible. As I mentioned, he's a major part of this team. But let me know what you think about this first report. And obviously, a complete load of BS, it almost seems like. Yet we will never really know. We wouldn't see Brad Marchand come out and say yes, but the way that he refuted those comments, the way that he came out, really broke it down piece by piece. And as I mentioned, go check out that Twitter or X tweet from the Bruins account to get the full 4-minute prompt from Brad Marchand. That'll give you a better idea of what kind of side you could take from this, I guess. But remember, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, Brad Marchand is the guy they're talking about. Brad Marchand, David Pastrnak. You never really know if those reporters have any credibility, and it is not a good look on him. But that's all I got in this video. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below. But as I mentioned, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.